There are political and social discussions and debates about what is best for our country, state, and community. I can tell you from personal experience and from my personal interaction with thousands of people in our Salt Lake community that what we want is a just society that treats everyone with dignity. Where everyone, regardless of their race, their country of origin, or the color of their skin, has a fair chance to earn a place amongst us.
I want to talk about my past, a scared fourth grader in 1994, Proposition 187, Southern California. I was not allowed to go to school for a month because my parents were too scared that a fourth grader, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old would be stopped. Luckily, the California Supreme Court struck that down immediately. But today, did they do it? They did it halfway. That's not enough. And we can't let this continue to happen.
There's a little girl here who has a sign that says, Todos somos Arizona. So, hey, yay for you. There is a dark cloud over my community. In seeking information about SB 1070, I came across articles exposing the financial contributions of various individuals linked to hate groups who are pushing very hard for the bill. It gave me chills. Growing up in Belgium, I remember older people talking about the tragedies and inhumane killings of those who didn't fit the image of a person worth living. I see that Arizona and here in Salt Lake community, in my Salt Lake community, the risk that hate groups, principles, and beliefs would be imposed upon all of us. I mean, all of us. Including my friends whose status would not be checked because they are white. They too, like so many of us here today, would have to live under a regime of tyranny.
I wanted to end with another Audre Lorde quote. So it is better to speak remembering we were never meant to survive. And the only thing we have left is our silence. So we must lose that too.
Join us. Stand up. Speak up for human rights.
Our next speaker is Flora Bernard. Flora Bernard is a local writer, musician, and activist. She speaks today on behalf of Peaceful Uprising, a Salt Lake City nonprofit that is dedicated to empowering nonviolent civil disobedience in the name of climate justice. Flora Bernard, once again, please, let's respect our speakers.
Can you hear me? Is this working? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, scream. That was kind of weak, but I'll pretend you're just being respectful. When I was a kid, I used to wish that horrible aliens from outer space would attack the planet. I'm not kidding. Not the complicated, interesting, human-esque space creatures that color our popular media now. I mean hideous monsters with tiny brains, huge teeth, and powerful guns, who moved through the universe devouring civilizations and leaving nothing but death and devastation in their wake. I used to think it would be awesome if those things would attack our planet. Here's why. I thought that it would be like in the movie Independence Day. We could all put aside our differences and rally together as one big human race to fight an enemy so clear-cut and so obvious it would be absurd not to stop it. Borders would magically vanish. All hands would be needed on deck, irrespective of color or language or creed. And I really truly believed that those ugly, monstrous space aliens stood no chance against humankind if and when we were all on the same side. I'm not a kid anymore. I don't think aliens are going to come and teach us that there are larger, scarier problems than one another, and we really should do our best to get along. In the last few years, I've come to realize that we do have a common enemy, and if we don't rally together, it will tear us apart, even without all the guns and the teeth. But even as a grown-up, I still believe that human beings are a powerful force to be reckoned with when it comes to innovation, teamwork, and compassion. Furthermore, I still believe that we are all on the same side. Some people that I know have a hard time grasping why immigration is a huge issue to me. In terms of activism, I'm mostly seen as an environmentalist. But really, I'm just a loud person, and I like to write songs and poems, and usually politics enter into those, and they usually have to do with the death of the planet. But the reason I got on board with the climate movement is humankind. I love and I respect all the living things that are threatened by the carbon that we're dumping in the atmosphere every single day. But it's the people, not the forests or the oceans or the wildlife, but the people that made me want to step up and take action. The immigration debate has intensified and heated up of late, you might have noticed. It happens every time something huge is threatening our society. We turn on the most vulnerable scapegoats that are available to our society. It's what we do. We're a slightly cannibalistic, predatory society, and it's how we function, at least insofar. The fact of the matter is, there's more people on this planet every minute, and there's fewer and fewer places that they can live. The core economic and industrial foundation of our biggest and most globally powerful nations is totally unsustainable. All right, that's a given. That's a given. There aren't enough fossil fuels in the ground to keep a pace with our expansion. So the fact of the matter is there are climate refugees, 25 million plus, all around the globe right now. These are people that are displaced by environmental events that are our fault. The fault of the industrial nations that are slamming shut our borders to them. To me, that's not okay. And when it comes to Utah, I know that we're better than that. But if history and precedents have anything to do with it, instead of addressing the huge problems, the big systemic problems that are threatening our livelihoods, we will instead pick a handy scapegoat and sick the citizens on them. And historically speaking, the citizens are eager for that scapegoat. Anyone to blame for issues that are at least, to some degree, all of our fault. Xenophobia is not just a comfortable landing spot for confused and angry citizens seeking an enemy. It's a terrific distraction from the real dialogue that needs to happen when it comes to the problems that are facing our society. You guys can tell I'm nervous when I get cotton mouth so bad my lips just sticking to my teeth. Do you see that? It's because I care. So the only solution that I've ever seen come as a result of politics are local solutions. This is what we have to do. We can't depend on international law or global governance to do anything on our behalf. Our best bet is to force our friends, our families, our neighbors, our colleagues, and ourselves to realize that we are the people affected by immigration law, not faceless, nameless, voiceless scores of folks. Us, right here. Every single one of us is affected by this. I don't care what color or creed or political affiliation you have. This threatens all of us, and it's a big deal. And if we want to stand a chance against the huger issues that are threatening our civilization, we have to stand united. We can't depend on aliens to come down from outer space and show us that there's bigger deals that we have to fight against. We just have to stand united right now. It's what we need to do, and it's the only way that we can get out of this mess and move forward. Thanks for hearing me out.